The police work environment. Law enforcement professionals understand their work environment may be at best less than desirable and at worst life-threatening. For instance, within minutes of arriving at a call, officers must begin to resolve other people's problems that in many cases have taken days, months, or even years to develop. In such an environment, excellence is a necessity, not an option. For a single misstep in handling such a call can have devastating effects felt throughout both the police agency and the country, i.e. the Rodney King videotape. Two major causes in the mishandling of police response is the lack of integrity and the existence of mediocrity. If department leaders allow mediocrity to exist, rather than demand the highest level of ethical conduct, they can create an atmosphere that is ripe for misconduct. To prevent such a climate, a high degree of personal ethical behavior from top leaders must be present so that integrity is not replaced by expediency or personal gain. Many police agencies are results-oriented. That is, they often measure success in terms of the quality of arrests and/or the amount of weapons or drugs recovered, while overlooking the quality of the investigation. In this type of organization, too often officers will find ways to produce the numbers rather than risk being passed over for promotion or specialized assignments. As a result, some officers may choose to cut corners or even violate the law and never realize that their conduct is unethical. For example, in an interview following his conviction for perjury and subsequent incarceration, one officer explained it this way: "The pressure is great to produce, to show activity, and to make arrests. It's all about the numbers, like the body count in Vietnam. You then leave it to the rest of the system to determine if you got the right guy or not." Sometimes, in this push for results, officers can interpret their department as not caring or wanting to know how results are obtained. The danger here is that some officers may interpret this as a license to get results at all costs. The end justifies the means is a utilitarian ethical philosophy. Now let's discuss the police subculture. The profession of policing has a powerful subculture. This subculture can often be the source of unethical conduct. A subculture is a group of individuals who generally share attitudes, perceptions, assumptions, values, beliefs, ways of living, and traditions. Because police officers share so many experiences unique to the field of policing, subcultures can become even stronger than the officer's commitment to act professionally. Additionally, work schedules outside the normal realm can lead to feelings of isolation that further strengthens the bond of the subculture. Some senior officers may even test rookies new to the law enforcement profession to see how they respond to accepting gratuities. They do this by placing recruits in compromising situations, such as accepting free coffee or half-price meals. It is long believed that this practice can be a gateway to more serious future corruption, as it provides the opportunity for corrupt senior officers to test junior officers' ethical judgments. Accepting a free cup of coffee is the most often used example, for it is held that once new officers engage in minor illegal or corrupt behavior, they find it easier to justify doing more. In addition, encouraging new officers to accept even small gratuities is a test of loyalty to the dominant subculture. In this corrupt subculture, fidelity is seen as more important than integrity. Researchers found that this form of subcultural indoctrination of new recruits made some more willing to engage in other types of unethical conduct. When researchers conclude that the length of time an officer exposed to this form of subcultural socialization process, the greater its negative impacts are. When loyalty to the subculture becomes too strong, the solidarity that follows can adversely affect officers' ethical decision-making. The us versus them mentality can create an allegiance to the subculture that is stronger than they have to the department's mission or even the profession. When officers feel disconnected from their department, animosity can set in, and soon all administrative policies are viewed with suspicion. This type conflict can create ethical dilemmas, especially for new officers, as they face a choice between ethical professional conduct or devotion to members of the subculture. This need for fidelity for one's fellow officers can cause some to trade their integrity for loyalty to the subculture. In closing, policing requires unyielding ethical behavior. Excellent policing ultimately depends on each employee's own level of knowledge and devotion to moral excellence. Anything less than perfect ethical conduct, on or off the job, can be disastrous for a department, the community, and the entire profession. While officers are only human and do make mistakes, intentional ethical misconduct cannot be tolerated. To ensure the utmost ethical behavior of their officers, agencies must have existing policies in place that clearly spell out the agency's ethical mission and mandatory standards of conduct. Must have strong ethical leadership at all levels. Must have leaders that lead by example, never choosing the easy route in lieu of the ethical one. Must hire ethical people and appropriately deal with those on board who are not. In short, an ethical police organization will require the scrupulous adherence to existing policies and standards, the ability to detect an individual or collective pattern of performance which falls short of that expectation, and the courage to deal with those who are responsible for those failures.